On February 28th, 2011, in the quiet stretches of Murfreesboro, a mother finished what should have been an ordinary day. 24-year-old Shelley Mook, a beloved 8th grade teacher, dropped off her 6-year-old daughter Lily at ex-husband Tyler's home. She was starting over, a new apartment, a new chapter. By 4:30 p.m., she was supposed to meet a maintenance worker, but Shelley never showed. Hours later, just after midnight, flames pierced the darkness of a farm field off of US 41A. A white 2006 Pontiac Grand Prix was burned and abandoned. Investigators would later determine that the fire was intentional. Whatever happened to Shelley, someone didn't want traced. Her ex-husband, Tyler Mook, told police that she'd left to run errands. He said she was upset. He said she promised to return by 10 p.m. But Shelley never did. A troubled marriage, allegations of violence, a custody battle, a child left without her mother. More than a decade later, Shelley Mook is still missing. And the question still burns. What happened between 4:30 p.m. and midnight? This is the case of Shelley Mook. This episode contains themes of violence and murder and may not be suitable for listeners of all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to the Hot Justice Podcast, a space where we remember the victims, question the facts, and seek justice through storytelling.
I'm Heather.
And I'm Sierra.
And we're here to explore the stories that challenge what we think we know, bringing you real talk, honest reflection, and a deep respect for the victims and their families.
Because true crime isn't just about mystery. It's about understanding the human stories beneath the headlines. Let's get into it.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Your true crime besties back again.
Yeah, it's been, we both took some vacations and we filmed before so we would have enough episodes, and we're just getting back together for the first time. We haven't seen each other in February.
It's been a whole month about.
We didn't see each other for the whole month of February.
I know. It sucked.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's
I missed you.
I missed you. I was really excited to film today.
Yeah, me too. I feel like at the same time I missed you. The whole month of February flew by. It was so fast.
We blinked. It was gone.
Yeah.
It was gone.
We took a couple of trips. So I took a trip for work the first week of February. I went to Glendale, Arizona, and then I went on a cruise, not last week, but the week before. So we flew into Florida and spent a couple days at my dad's. He lives in southern Florida, Gulf side. So that was really nice. The weather was good. And then we took the cruise out of Miami, which that was fun. Just kind of
welcome to Miami.
I know. I had been to Miami once, but it was really chilly when I went. It was like unseasonably cold for Miami. I think it was January. So it was neat. I mean,
I love Miami.
I didn't really get to do very much. We just
Miami.
went to Miami, got on the ship, and then got off the ship and drove back. But yeah, but the rest of it.
You drove?
We drove from my dad's.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant from New York. I was like, oh my God.
No, but we have done that before with the kids a couple of times. We've driven, but no, this time we flew and it was nice. I mean, the weather here has just really stunk.
It's been so bad.
So it was nice to go someplace where it's nice and warm. And even in Florida, it was like they opened up this new water park in town, kind of like a splash park, not like a water park per se with slides and stuff, but and I took the baby and he loved it. He was like in his glory, like running around, and I was thinking to myself, this is February and he's outside, it's like 80 degrees and he's just like happily playing in the sunshine, and I don't know, it makes me sad to come back here, but
yeah,
this is where we choose to live. So
Cancun was not cold, but it was only like low 70s, and then it was like then week after I left, it was like in the 80s, which I was like, of course. Why wouldn't that be?
At least it wasn't like a hurricane or something while you were there.
Oh my gosh, at least there wasn't the cartel attacking everyone while I was there. That didn't happen. And then I was in Dallas for 24 hours, not even 24 hours, really quick for a birthday celebration dinner. And then I was in New Orleans for Mardi Gras. That was actually really, really fun.
Was it?
I'm going to have to show you the video of like one of the haunted ghost tours we did.
Oh, I would just want to see some pictures. I haven't seen pictures or anything.
I know. I've been really bad. I've been slacking. Life has been lifing for me for the past month. I've had like a dark cloud around me.
Ooh.
So I haven't really done much in the way of posting. So I will work to be better for the month of March.
I have a question. Did you eat beignets at Café du Mall?
I did not.
What?
I
Did you
know.
eat beignets anywhere?
I did not.
Well, that would be the
I
first thing
know.
I did if I ever went to New
I know.
Orleans.
There was a really cool spot we went to that had like a really cool like brunch buffet, but it was like nothing like I've ever seen before.
Oh.
And I do have to say that if anyone is ever looking to go all inclusive, I've been to a ton of different all inclusive resorts. I love them all for different reasons. This was a very family friendly one. If you have kids, it literally even had like a bowling alley, an arcade,
Oh, cool.
a bounce like the trampoline park. It had everything. But beyond that, the best food I have ever had at an all inclusive.
Oh,
Like
that's important.
it's never that good, but it
No.
was really good there.
Oh,
So
good.
it
What was
was
it called?
the Hard Rock in Riviera Maya. So if
Oh,
anyone is looking, and it has its own like private lagoon, it's honestly it's amazing.
would you
It's
go there if you were not with a group that had children?
yes.
Okay.
There was well, my friend who got married has a daughter, and then there was one of her friends had like literal little babies, smaller kids. But other than that, no one really had kids in the group.
I
But
just wonder sometimes when you're on a vacation with adults because like we've been to some all inclusives and they're always adults only.
yeah,
And I've never been to an all inclusive. Like
that
first of all,
allowed kids.
yeah, when I go on vacation with my kids, it's just like a completely different vacation. So when I've
Yeah.
been all inclusive or someplace like that with a group or even like just with, my husband, I've never been to one with kids and I almost wonder if it would be like not as relaxing if there are kids running around.
So there were like no kids. Like I saw like I shouldn't say no, very minimal children. And if you want to stay, the other side of the resort is strictly adults only.
Oh,
So you
okay.
could like choose.
Yep.
So it was still pretty cool.
Nice. Wine of the week?
Heck yeah. It is. So this is like one of my favorites too. I keep saying that, but for Christmas, we always do a mimosa bar and I always volunteer. And this is the guaranteed one that's coming from Mimosa Bar.
It's always on it. Always on the bar.
It's Glenora Raspberry Spumante.
It's delicious. We love it. It's good for it's good for mimosas. It's good alone.
Yeah.
This is a little bit before noon. I'm not gonna say how far before noon this morning we're recording. So yeah, we thought maybe something that was a little more like mimosa.
Brunchy.
Yeah, but whatever. I would drink it anytime. It is really, really tasty.
A little more, yeah, brunchy. A little more socially acceptable.
Very sweet. You can taste the raspberry. Delish.
Um, and I do have a book. I'm actually really excited about this one. It is by Alice Feeney and it's called His and Hers.
Okay.
And there's a brand new Netflix series.
Oh,
And it is one of
I
the
watched it.
Did you?
Yes. Yes.
It is one of the best books I've read in a very long time.
What a twist at the end of the series.
My gosh. I
Huge
thought I
twist.
knew. I thought I knew. I was like, oh, I know this. And then you're like, yes, I'm right. And then you're like, no, I was
God.
so wrong.
I know. It's like, and you know what's so funny is my husband predicted it, he's not great at predicting outcomes.
The real ending?
Yes. Yeah. He was like, I think it's such and such because of X, Y, and Z. And it ended up being, the person that he suspected. But
I haven't watched the series yet, so that's next on my list.
it's good. And it's I like the cast. I like the two main characters that play the ex-husband and ex-wife, or
Yeah.
they're still married. I can't remember, but they're really good. I've seen him in other things and I've seen her in a couple other things too, but it's a pretty strong cast. And I wanted to ask you, so I just finished this series on Amazon Prime called 56 Days. And that is based on a book.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was
Remind
thinking
me so I can read
okay,
it.
I wasn't sure if maybe you had read it or not, but
No.
it was really good and, like, kinda twisty and
Oh, that's right up my
yeah,
alley.
and it's a crime, like, it starts off with a
Okay.
crime that's committed and the police going to the building where the crime is committed, and it's, like, kind of a gruesome scene. So
Okay.
yeah, so I
Yeah,
don't know,
right up
I
my
was just curious if
alley.
you had
No, I've never even heard of it.
yeah, so His and Hers, you like
His and
that?
Hers, really good. Honestly, I blew through that book. It was another one of those, like, I will stay up late at night and read this book. It
Yeah.
was really good. And then I'm not going to tell you what book I'm in the middle of now. It's actually an older book that I should have read forever ago, but I'm loving it and I'm scared I know where it's going and I hope I'm wrong.
Aw.
So I'll hope I'm wrong on this one. So we could talk about that. So I guess let's just get into it because this is a very twisty case.
Okay.
And I also want to note that we are filming this on March 1st. Yesterday, March 28th, was the 15-year
February
anniversary.
28th.
Gosh, I'm
It's
terrible.
fine.
February 28th was the 15-year disappearance of Shelley Mook.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
I didn't plan this, but it kind of worked. And I also wanted to give a shout out to, I don't want to like say his full government because I don't know if he wants me to, but this is a case that was shared to me. I used to have a bar and restaurant, and the chiropractic students always came, and I became friends with a lot of them. So when he saw our podcast, he reached out to me and said, I have a case from my hometown, look into it. And
What is the state that this happened?
so she's from Pennsylvania,
Okay.
but it happened in Tennessee.
Okay. Okay.
So, yeah, let's just kind of talk a little bit about it. Finding out a lot of info about Shelley was kind of difficult as far as like her childhood. But she was a graduate of General McLean High School. And while she was in high school, she was a cheerleader. She then attended and graduated Middle Tennessee State University. And as I said in the beginning, she was working as an eighth grade reading teacher at Harris Middle School at the time of her disappearance. She was very beloved. The staff members have all gone on the record about how amazing she was. I mean, she just sounds like a really awesome person. There's been a lot of interviews with some of her childhood best friends, and she just sounds like everyone loved her. There was no one that didn't think she was just really, really special.
I think
So,
most teachers have really big hearts.
the patience of a saint.
Oh, I can't even imagine, especially middle school.
Yeah, 8th grade, no thank you. No thank you. So, let's get into a little bit of the timeline and the details of this case. So, she was last seen on February 28th, 2011 between 3:30 and 4 after dropping off her 6-year-old daughter Lily to her ex-husband Tyler Mook's home. She had moved into a new apartment the previous weekend, and her mom had actually flown from Pennsylvania to Tennessee to help her move in and had just flown back. Uh, Tyler reported that she was meeting a maintenance man at her house at 4:30, which is true. That has been confirmed. She was supposed to meet a maintenance man at her apartment at 4:30, and she unfortunately never showed. Tyler says that Shelley was upset that she had a new boyfriend, and she was suspicious that there was some infidelity. She stayed at his house for about an hour, left to run some errands, said she would be back to pick up Lily by 10 p.m., but she never came back. At 12:30 a.m. on March 1st, so this is just basically like 8 hours later, a white 2006 Pontiac Grand Prix with the Tennessee license plate was found abandoned and burned in an empty farm field, which was a little bit southeast of Murfreesboro. And I hope I'm saying that right. If not, I'm sorry. So it wasn't until Tyler reported her missing a few days later that the police even realized it was her vehicle.
Was her mom still there?
No, her mom had flown back home.
Okay.
So authorities determined that it was set on fire intentionally, and the blaze destroyed whatever clues might have been there.
So he reported her missing days later. They found her
Correct.
car at midnight, a little bit after midnight, the day that he last supposedly saw her.
Correct. But he didn't report her that day. They didn't realize even right away that that was her car. So
Okay.
no one knew she was missing as of March 1st. That wasn't known.
And what about school?
So she had the day off of work on March 1st because she had taken the 28th and the 1st off because she had moved into that new apartment. So no one suspected on the 1st that she was even missing. What actually prompted some of this to start is that the next day she was expected at work and she did not show. And that was very unlike her. So it started setting off alarm bells. And that's
Okay.
when Tyler did report her. But just a question here. You have children.
Mhm.
They're not, none of them are 6 at this point, but they were. In my head, I'm not dropping my 6-year-old off on a school night or really any night and saying I'll be back to pick her up at 10 p.m. unless something major is going on. I'm
Oh.
not, she's going to be in bed, right?
Well, for sure. I guess I don't know what her bedtime is, but I'm thinking like a 6-year-old, it's probably, I don't know, my kids would go to bed at like 8 o'clock, for example. Right.
My bedtime is 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I know. My bedtime's a little bit later than Heather's, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of, that's a suspicious fact, I would say. I don't believe that she said, especially if she is a good and like caring mother, that she
And
would come back and pick her up at 10.
and she's a teacher who knows how important probably like kids sleep in their structure and the routine is.
Yeah.
So to me, that just seems a little off.
I think it
Just
depends
off.
too on what else she said she had to do. So she had to go see the maintenance man, but then I don't know, like, what else exactly was she supposedly doing? What kind of errands was she running that would keep her out until 10
10
p.m.?
p.m. Right.
I don't know.
So Let's talk about her and Tyler's marriage because they divorced in 2009 and it was a very troubled relationship. He was charged after he allegedly tried to run her vehicle off the road. He was suspected of vandalizing her home twice, although there were no charges actually filed in those incidents. In May of 2009, Tyler had been arrested for alteration of an item's distinguishing number and theft of property. And that related to a stolen farm tractor and the fact that the serial number had been sawed off of the tractor.
So not related to her, but he stole
A
someone's
farm
tractor?
tractor, yes, and then
Sounds like
sold
a
it
real
to
good guy.
someone else.
Mm.
And then it was discovered. Also in September of that year, he was arrested for reckless endangerment. So also, like we talked about, when Debbie Sikora, Shelley's mom, received the news that Shelley had disappeared, she jumped in her car and immediately drove the 642 miles to from Edinburgh to Shelbyville to help assist in the search of her daughter. So, talk about a mom's love. And then she took a leave of absence from her job and moved to Shelbyville for several months to try to locate her daughter.
Was she ever vocal about what she thought happened? Did she?
So, a lot of people have been very vocal about what they think and who they think the perpetrator is. So, this is a case where everyone is presumed innocent until guilty. No one has been convicted of this case. So, these are just facts, or I'm sorry, these are just opinions. These are not facts when I say, but 99% of people think that Tyler did it.
Yeah.
And you'll see why as this keeps going.
I'm included in those 99, and I've only
Yeah.
heard
Same.
7 minutes of detail.
So Tyler moved out of his house shortly after Shelley's disappearance on the same day that the investigators searched his home.
That's strange.
And so it's important to also note that Tyler has never once assisted in any search for Shelley. Not once.
Probably because he knows where she is.
So again, yes, they were divorced, but this is the mother of your child.
Yeah.
If your ex went missing, wouldn't you help? Especially if you had a civil enough relationship that she was supposedly just at your house talking to you about her troubles with her new boyfriend.
Yeah.
And now she's gone and her car is set ablaze and you just have no concern about her well-being.
If nothing else, you would do it for your child.
For your kid.
Yeah.
Even if you were like, I can't stand this individual, I don't really care what happened to them, your kids care.
Yes.
So after her disappearance, Shelley's parents actually got into a custody battle with Tyler over Lily. There was an evidentiary hearing on June 21st of 2011, and numerous witnesses, and I mean numerous witnesses, testified to Tyler's history of illegal drug use, drug trafficking, violent behavior, and verbal and physical abuse towards Shelley. In a court deposition for the custody case, Tyler refused to answer questions about the day of Shelley's disappearance, and he invoked his Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination approximately 150 times.
Well, if that doesn't scream guilty, I don't know what does.
So, I have a legal note here. So, for anyone who does not know, I plead the Fifth when you say that or some variation of that means that you are invoking your Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. So, this means that you cannot be forced to testify against yourself in a legal, police, or criminal proceedings. During that proceeding, pleading the Fifth cannot be used to infer guilt or even be commented on by a prosecutor during that trial. So, closing arguments, questions, they cannot question the fact that you are invoking your Fifth Amendment right. However, when you claim the Fifth Amendment in a civil matter, which is what a custody hearing is, a civil court can assume that your refusal to answer that question is based on the fact that the truthful answer would be unfavorable to you or your case, basically essentially admitting to whatever the bad act would be.
Mm-hmm.
So this was a civil matter, and he pled the Fifth about 100, it says between 140, 150 times. I did not count them all because I wasn't going to waste my time on it. But one of the questions he refuses to answer, did Shelley come to your residence with Lily on the 28th? Why wouldn't you answer that?
She had, so he must have received legal counsel, legal advice.
So his exact statement was, on advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer on the grounds of the Fifth Amendment. So clearly coached.
Anything related to seeing her that day.
Wait, though. He answers one question. Do you want to know what that one question is?
Was she your ex-wife?
Did you have sex with Shelley on February 28th? And his response? Yes.
Oh, that's weird.
The follow-up question, what time? His response, on advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer on the grounds of the Fifth Amendment.
That's strange, I guess, if he's admitting that they had sex that day, but he's not even admitting that he won't say that she was at his house.
Of all questions to answer, that's what you want to answer?
Yeah, it's probably just trying to make her look bad,
Ugh.
right?
I, I don't even have enough to express like the disgust at that.
I don't like this
Like,
guy.
me either. There is testimony from a different hearing in the custody case, not the same one, where he does answer more questions. He claims that Shelley came over. They spent over an hour talking about the problems going on in her life. Mook says she broke down. She cried over a boyfriend who might have been cheating on her. And then he claims that they made love while their daughter Lily was in the next room. And then finally, he says Shelley left to do errands, leaving Lily and promising to be back by 10 p.m. He says she never came back. He spent the entire evening with Lily. He says he texted and called Shelley, but he only got one mysterious text message back from her around 7 p.m. that just said, I will, babe.
Are there cell phone records that have been
I have nothing on any cell phone records, but I don't know that they've ever subpoenaed anything with him because there's never been anything charged against him where they could probably get the rights to subpoena his phone. I don't know about hers.
suspicious, right? If he's a person of interest, they should be able to get his cell phone records.
He has also, and I say it down a little bit later, but he has also never sat down for a police interview and he refused a polygraph. But we do have another account of that afternoon, and it comes from Shelley and Tyler's 6-year-old daughter. So a specialist in forensic interviews with children asked Lily about the day that Shelley disappeared. Lily said she and Shelley went to Tyler's home, but she stayed in the car when her mother went to the door. She then says that later she was taken into her bedroom with the door closed and told not to come out.
By her father?
She never actually saw her mother inside of her father's house. So this goes directly against his claim that Shelley was in the other room, or him and Shelley were in the other room while Lily was in the other room. Then you would assume you wouldn't have snuck your daughter in, told her to stay with the door closed.
Right.
It seems that the only person that actually knows what happened in that house is Tyler. Shelley's childhood friend was a person named Brittany Brooks, and Brittany has been in many interviews stating that there is no way on this earth that Shelley would have abandoned her daughter and that she never even left her without saying goodbye, kissing her goodbye. Like, there's no way that that would have happened. And according to Lily's rendition of what happened that day, that is not what happened. So that leads me to believe right there something was clearly amiss the moment Lily was brought into that bedroom. So
She was probably subdued or something at that point, right? Like he attacked her and
if she was even still alive at that point.
right.
On July 27th, 2011, the trial court found that based on the evidence presented at trial, and again, giving Tyler priority as he's entitled to as the biological parent in an initial determination of custody, Tyler was still unfit to parent his child.
Good.
And that he posed a substantial risk of harm to Lily, and that Lily was dependent and neglected based on Tyler's dangerous temper and because of danger from exposure to drug dealing, drug use, irresponsible driving, and exposure to undesirable associates. Because one can assume that if you are
Shady character, you hang out with
you hang out with them, right?
Yep.
The court granted Shelley's mother, Debbie, the primary residential parent of Lily.
Oh, that's good.
Yay! Tyler's parents had also petitioned for custody of Lily, but the trial court rejected the request due to the fact that they completely denied that Tyler had any problems. So the court kind of said, you can't even own up to the fact that your son has issues, so no, you cannot parent her.
Well, they also raised somebody who turned out to be whatever Tyler is.
Right.
So
Right.
I wouldn't give him a second chance.
So in October of 2012, a temporary restraining order was granted against Tyler. The order prevented him or his parents from having any contact with Lily. Affidavits were provided by Debbie and a counselor that alleged that Lily had told her that there was a talk between her, Tyler, and Tyler's mom, Kim Mook, that she should burn down her grandmother's house so that she would have to return and live with her dad.
What?
Supposedly, she was given matches and told to light a fire under her bed And the statement was corroborated by a Pennsylvania DCS worker.
Oh my gosh, they said it in front of a DCS worker?
I don't know, but I know it was corroborated by them. So
What? Who
something
are
was
these
said.
psycho people? That is awful.
Fast forward to December of 2012, and Debbie claimed that Tyler Mook's brother and brother-in-law suddenly showed up at her house calling for Lily, and they did leave without incident. But remember,
They are trying to like lure her.
her house is 642 miles away from Tyler's.
This family sounds.
So, in early 2013, a Shelbyville judge, Lee Russell, ruled that Tyler could no longer even have visitation with Lily. He found Lily's accusations about her father to be credible.
Good.
In January of 2014, it looked like there might be some new leads. The TBI, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations, searched a van owned by a neighbor of Tyler's, but unfortunately, no evidence, at least that we know of, was ever uncovered off of that van.
That search.
Yep. So let's get into one of the twists of this case. So Tyler moved to Florida after Shelley's disappearance. I don't know exactly when. A lot of records said shortly after. I don't know exactly what shortly means, but he did move to Florida. On October 4th, 2014, Tyler was arrested in Palm City, Florida, when he attacked his girlfriend of 2 years, Robin Donch. The pair had been on a speedboat along with Tyler's brother Andrew Mook and his girlfriend, Nicole Javardo. Robin had asked him to slow down in a manatee wake zone, which sent him flying into a rage and triggered the attack, according to the report.
He doesn't care about the manatees.
He doesn't care about anyone, so he definitely doesn't care about manatees.
Oh.
Tyler Mook tried to rip the top off of Robin's bathing suit and then threw her into the water, where he tried to keep her submerged. She managed to get free, but he immediately pushed her under again.
Oh my gosh.
Andrew Mook, Tyler's brother, told investigators that when he saw Tyler attempting to hold Robin underwater, he grabbed a water noodle and jumped in after her. He had to place his brother in a chokehold, forcing him to release Robin.
Oh my gosh.
Tyler then swam back to the boat, where Nicole reported that he told her, "No one disrespects me in front of my family. I will kill her."
He probably meant it.
Andrew Mook stayed in the water with Robin until 2 other guys in a passing boat picked her up and took her to safety. Robin flagged down a police officer at a park and stated that her boyfriend had just tried to kill her.
Jesus.
She told police she believed he was trying to drown her and that he would have succeeded if his brother had not intervened. Andrew gave a statement to police confirming Robin's story.
Well, that's good because the family, it seems like up until this point, they were just completely enabling his bad behavior.
And my note is actually like
Psychopathic
Andrew had been on
tendencies.
board supporting his brother the whole time, claiming that his brother would never hurt a woman until this instance. So when Robin reported the incident, Tyler was arrested and charged first with battery and then upgraded to first-degree attempted murder.
Good, okay.
At his trial, his defense argued that he just lost his temper and hadn't intended to kill her.
Well, what about like holding her head underwater?
I
Just
guess if
temper
you're
tantrum
his
behavior?
if you're his attorney, like what do you even try to argue? So I guess you got to pull something out.
I don't know. Defense attorneys sometimes really piss me off.
That's fair. That's very fair. Andrew Mook was forced to testify. He was actually subpoenaed. And I can imagine that although he made a statement, he probably does not want to testify publicly against his brother.
No.
And they were very clear to him that, you're here kind of against your will because you're being subpoenaed. He agreed. He was clear he didn't want to be present, but he did testify that he did have to jump in and force Tyler to let Robin go. And his testimony backed Robin's story.
At least he didn't lie on the stand, especially if he'd already given police the other account, right? You can't really.
Right. Can't really backtrack.
Yeah.
Well, you can, but at one point you're lying.
Yeah.
So Tyler Mook was convicted, unfortunately not of first-degree attempted murder, but second-degree attempted murder, and he was sentenced on May 26, 2016 to 12 years for attempted second-degree murder. So there is at least that.
Not long enough for this fella.
So then I have another twist.
Oh.
About a year after Shelley's disappearance, there was a 911 call. But it was a butt dial.
Uh-oh. Well, that's weird. Who butt dials 911?
Tyler Mook does,
Hmm.
while talking to his dad. The call is, and I think we'll probably post some of it. It's a little unclear to hear. If we don't post it here, we'll post it on our website. It's not clear, but you can hear some things clearly. And he says, you can't take somebody's kid away from them for the next 13 years for something that I've never been charged with or that something that somebody said. They then start talking a little bit further, and Tyler says they've already got a bunch of people lined up. They already got people seeing me leave that night. Oh, they've seen Shelley's car going down the road that night. Oh, someone's seen me walking down the road in the middle of the night.
Oh. So he thinks that the police have evidence. They had witnesses that put him walking away from the car.
It seems to be what he's saying. It's, again, very unclear with this call. You only hear little like snippets.
Mhm.
And it seems that he is working in a garage with his dad, kind of having this conversation with his dad, using power tools, talking about things. I haven't seen anything in what I have researched where the police have ever said there was people that could see him walking down the street at night.
Mhm.
Maybe he just suspected that. Maybe it was a guilty conscience thinking that
Well,
someone saw
maybe
him.
maybe he was walking down the street away from the car and he saw a passerby, he saw a car driving by him. So maybe he knows that there's somebody that saw him, whether that person puts two and two together and realizes that that's what they saw or not, you know?
The crazy part, besides the fact that you dialed 911
I mean, what are the chances?
for 22 minutes, and when he realizes, he hangs up. But then he calls 911 back.
Hmm.
And he asks if they received a call from him. They tell him yes, and then he asks if all calls are recorded.
Oh, geez. Well, that's incriminating.
Like, come
Yeah,
on,
this guy's
how
a
much
literal idiot.
more? The only thing that this makes me think about is, was Tyler alone?
When he killed Shelley?
When, assumingly, if he had killed Shelley, he brought her car to be lit on fire.
Mhm.
Because where the car was found was about 20 miles away from his home.
Oh, okay.
So, was there someone else involved?
I would expect at least somebody else who was watching Lily.
One would think, right?
I would suspect
One
that.
would hope.
Yeah,
Or did he just leave Lily at his house because this is a perfect alibi for him that he was home with his daughter?
but what if she woke up and said, "I didn't see my dad there. He wasn't there at night. I got up and he was gone." But yeah, I
Could
mean,
have,
somebody must have helped him move the car.
because otherwise you're assuming he walked 20 miles home.
Yeah, there's no way.
Absolutely not. Now, do I believe that maybe he left Lily home alone to drive 20 miles, drop off a car, walk away from the scene, have someone pick him up and bring him back home?
Mhm.
That could be done in an hour's time, right?
Or
Or
maybe both
close
of
to
his
that.
parents helped.
I don't think there's any way to say that. My personal belief is that he had to have been involved. I just don't see any way around it. Again, my personal belief. His girlfriend, Robin, also made a comment one time about how similar she feels she was to Shelley. They both had daughters. They were both blonde, both pretty girls. Just it seems like he was going after a specific type for
Mhm.
sure. Which I guess isn't surprising, right? People have types. But if your ex wife just disappeared, I don't know, that it seems a little odd to go after someone exactly like her type. But so the TBI have publicly stated that Tyler Mook is a person of interest. He has been their only person of interest. There has never been anyone else named. It's been stated that he didn't cooperate with agents, which we talked about. He won't sit down and give them an interview about the last time he saw Shelley. Again, he gave one somewhat at a custody hearing, but he has never given one to police. He reported her missing, but not until the day after her car was found. I would think, knowing your ex, that she should have been there at 10 p.m.
It didn't show up.
and didn't show. I would have been probably reporting her missing within a couple hours. Maybe I would have waited till morning to see if, like, I don't know, maybe she stayed somewhere overnight. But when she didn't appear in the morning, I would have said something.
I wonder if police have checked her cell phone records, if they can see how many incoming calls were made from him to her. Because what I would do if somebody was scheduled to come and pick up my kid and they didn't show up, I would start calling them to be like, oh, it's 10:15. Oh, it's, I don't know, 11 o'clock. Like, where are you?
And he claims he did, but
But I
he can
wonder
claim
if
a
they
lot of
if
things,
they can
and
prove that he did.
I don't believe him. So
I
there's
don't
that.
believe anything he says.
Yeah, I think he's
The
the
worst.
worst. After, especially, we know for a fact you tried to kill one person.
Yeah.
That is known. That's a fact at this point. Whether he was involved in Shelley's disappearance is speculation, but I think at this point, almost everyone is speculating, yes, that he was. I should also mention that he was released from prison on January 1st, 2025.
Boo.
So I don't know if he's still living in Florida, which is where he was incarcerated. If he has moved back to Tennessee, I didn't see anything on that. But 12 years in 2016, you don't normally always serve your whole time. I did want to point out that there is a $20,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of Shelley Mook's killer.
But they've never found her body.
They have never found her body. They have never found any evidence. The family has publicly stated that they believe they are looking for a body. They do not believe that Shelley is
They should
alive.
file a civil suit.
I know, against him.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if nothing else, they could create a trust for his daughter. I don't know how old she is at this point.
Yeah.
21.
Shelley was last seen wearing a black short sleeve sweater dress and white leggings and black suede boots. This is being investigated by the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations. Zach Burkhart is a special agent in charge. If you have any information, if you know something, please contact them at 1-800-TBI-FIND, FIND. So I did want to leave on what I think is a good note, a good piece of information. You just said something about Lily, and so this is about Lily. Lily Mook thrived living with her grandparents, at least from what I can see. She also graduated, just like her mom, from General McLean High School, where she played softball and she excelled in volleyball.
Aww.
She was selected to the Region 6 All-Star team. She was named Athlete of the Week multiple times.
Yay, Lily.
She was a nominee for Athlete of the Year.
Wow.
And not only did she excel in sports, but she excelled in academics as well. She graduated cum laude, and she went on to play volleyball for Notre Dame Falcons in college, and she plans to graduate with a degree in nursing.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yay!
Go, Lily.
So, yes, obviously, Debbie did a great job, stepping in.
Yeah.
And,
Well, thank God she got custody. Could you imagine how Lily's life would have completely changed and maybe where she would be now if Tyler had been granted
No.
custody instead of Shelley's parents?
No, not at all.
I mean, he doesn't deserve it, but depending on the state, a lot of states prefer to keep children with their parents. And I mean, you've heard horror stories, I'm sure, as I have, where CPS has been called 15 times or, it's unsafe living conditions and cleanliness is just a matter of,
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think that her life could have been dramatically changed.
I'm so thankful for the judge that even though they say, yes, we give parents parental, preferential treatment kind of, I guess, with getting their children, but too bad. You are awful and you can't raise her.
No, in this situation, I feel like justice prevailed, at least in that way. Like for Lily, the system worked. It doesn't work every time. It doesn't work a lot of the time, but I think in this case, thankfully, for her sake.
And we've talked about this as someone who grew up without a mom. It's not always easy. So good for her for being like, nope, I'm going to do it. I'm going to excel in sports. I'm going to excel in academics. I mean, we're talking about Notre Dame here. This is not, anything would be amazing, right? But this is Notre Dame. Good for her.
I know, that's incredible.
So at least there is, in my opinion, a nice little ending here.
Like a silver lining.
Yeah.
For the story.
Of course, 15 years is far too long. I think 15 days is far too long to not know what happened to your loved one. So as usual, if someone knows anything, please say something, even if it's minute, even if it's a little detail. It's never going to be too late. And, they want to put their loved one to rest.
Yeah.
And they deserve that. They 110% deserve that. So
I think if nothing else, the police in Tennessee just need to push a little harder because it seems like they have a lot of information already. I know they never interviewed him, but I wonder if there's anything that they could do retroactively with cell phone data. I don't know, but it just seems like it's so suspicious. The story is really suspicious. So,
and hopefully maybe he was right. Maybe there is someone who saw him walking down the road and we just don't know about it. They're not going to tell you every detail.
Yeah.
So
2011, I know it seems like it was a long time ago. That's not that long ago. I don't know, especially if you see a burning vehicle and you see somebody near it, and that's not hard to forget.
Right.
So.
Especially walking down the middle of the road.
Yeah.
At 12:30 at night or midnight or sometime around then. So hopefully we can give an update on this case. That would make me very, very happy. And, special shout out to Brandon. Thank you again. You recommended this case and this one just with my mind. Every time I would look and find something else, I was like, how have we not convicted this person?
Yeah, he's a
So,
piece of shit.
yeah, let's get it done. He does not deserve to be
Walking
walking around with
free.
the rest of people. And
No way.
again, that's our opinion, not on facts as far as that goes, but our opinion is you suck.
Yeah, you're the worst, Tyler.
All right, guys.
Wait,
We'll
one
be
more quick thing.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to update. I know we covered Jessica Chambers' case a couple of episodes ago. The trial was scheduled to start in Mandy's case the end of January. So I believe it was January 26th. I can't remember exactly,
Yep.
but the last week in January. And anyway, due to weather, I believe it was because of weather, it's been rescheduled again. So it's scheduled now to start March 16th. So we will have an update hopefully in a future episode. Whatever the verdict is, we'll provide an update on Quentin Tellis and his status.
I'm hoping for a guilty verdict for my birthday.
Oh, yeah. That would be a nice birthday.
Yeah, that'd be a great birthday present, honestly.
Heather has a milestone birthday coming up, so we're excited about that.
Are we?
I mean, I am. I love to celebrate, especially a milestone, a bigger celebration. So,
Yeah, that's true. But all right, guys. Well, we will be back shortly.
2 weeks from
2
now.
weeks.
So hit us up if you want to chat. We have received some more recommendations recently.
Yeah, I'm
right?
trying
Which
to
is
work them
cool.
as fast as I can into my cases, and I know you are too.
Yeah, and I think what we're going to do is maybe record a couple of summaries. So we'll see if there's interest about cases. We'll just provide a couple minute summary, maybe through TikTok or our
Yeah.
YouTube shorts, and then
Maybe we could have people vote and see what they want to hear.
yeah, to see if they're interested. So, all right, well, if you want to reach out to us, as always, you can hit us up at hotjusticepodcast@gmail.com, or you can reach out through our website and check us out on socials.
As always.
Yep.
And let's find out where Nancy Guthrie is, please.
Oh my
For the love of everything.
oh, there's so much happening right now.
Yeah.
This is not a political podcast, but there's just so much. Not just Nancy Guthrie, but the Epstein files, like all of the turmoil around that, and just a lot of craziness happening right now in the world.
I'm hoping we settle down. Like that black cloud around me, it's around all of us at this point, and it needs to go away.
Somebody needs to find Nancy. And really quickly, let's just talk. Okay, we might as well, because I think this is going to be a shorter episode. So her pacemaker, right? How can they not track where her pacemaker is?
I wonder what they possibly did with it.
I just know that they said that they can tell, so they can track the data based on it being close to the hub, whatever her hub is, which I believe was her cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
And so 42 minutes after, but what the pacemaker data showed was that her heart rate never increased. So you would think if somebody comes in and you're startled,
especially dressed like that.
Yes. I would be terrified. If I woke up and saw that, my heart rate, when I'm at a basketball game for youth sporting events, my heart rate is like 130 beats per minute. If I saw somebody that looked like that came into my room in the middle of the night, my heart rate would be like 150 beats per minute. How is Nancy so calm?
And what about the fact that this individual went to her house multiple times?
I know. That's creepy.
So was he stalking the house the first time and then realized there was a camera and came back, which I think might have been what happened. But also, in this day and age, like we've talked about, how do you assume someone doesn't have a camera?
Okay, and this is for anybody who does have security cameras. I have security cameras at my house. I check them all the time. I go back, I look at my Ring, I look at our other cameras. We have like Google Home. I don't know, they're Blinks or something. My husband sets it up. He's the techie one. But I know how to look at them, and I'll go back through. And if there's anybody who's captured on our cameras that's, at a strange time, I look to see who's walking by my house all day long. But especially if it's like at a certain time.
The only thing I wonder is how tech savvy is she, because she's 84.
Well, then what do you have cameras for?
I don't know. What if
reviewing the data?
What if her children had them installed to feel safer, but kind of, I don't want to say didn't take the time or whatever. It's no one's fault that if something wasn't reviewed.
Yeah.
But maybe they just kind of thought, okay, if something, comes up or she asks us something, we have the cameras, we can view her. Like maybe they didn't think to go through every data point, everything.
Say, if you have them, and I'm not trying to put any kind of fear in anybody, but I mean, this kind of stuff can happen, whether it's property theft or, if somebody is considering committing a crime against you. That's why you have cameras installed at your house. They're for security. So I just think it's important to go and review the footage. That's why you have it. So just check it out. Make sure there's nothing suspicious happening around your house. I know people have been stealing Amazon packages off people's porches. Like, just strange things like that have been happening. So We actually,
Humankind is kind of sucking a little bit right now,
what
like
is
a
it? Humankind.
humankind.
I know, but then again, I mean, okay, think about when SNAP benefits were paused and think about all of the
Yes.
help like
Yeah.
people like you provided, right? So there are still good people in the world. It's just that you're hearing a lot more about the awful things that
Yeah.
have been happening.
If it
But
bleeds, it leads.
yeah, exactly, which is sad, but I mean, kind of the whole premise of
But really, there's like a $1 million reward if you have information about Nancy Guthrie. So we're quitting our jobs and going to go find it. No, I'm just kidding.
not really.
Not
I don't think my
really.
boss watches this, but maybe one of my coworkers does. So yeah, just
Mm,
that's not true. We're gonna show up for work. We'll be there
yeah, we'll be
Monday.
there. I mean, we still want to know where Nancy is, but we'll be at
Please don't live
work.
to replace us. So, but yeah, I mean, I just hope that somebody can help the family. I don't know. I would think that the FBI is involved, the law enforcement
There's
agencies should have been
so
helping.
much eyes and attention on this. I just
Yes.
don't know how we don't know anything.
It makes me crazy because you have to think there are cameras everywhere. So how have they not been able to see where did that person come from? Where did they take her? How did they take her? There's no footage of her anywhere once she's out of her house.
I
How?
I
How not?
think there has to be, and I think we're just not being told.
But
I
why are
think,
they sharing? Because I was thinking about, remember the Ohio couple that was
yeah,
murdered, the dentist and his wife? As soon as they had somebody on video that they thought could potentially be a suspect, because they didn't know, they had no idea. So it was like, okay, this is the grainy footage we have. If you recognize this person or if this is you,
yeah.
so how have they not? If they released the front door camera footage, I would think if they had footage, it would be out there like, this is what we see. This is the
I
kind of
do
car
wonder if
person.
they have gone to the neighbors because, like in the Ohio case, I know someone who was very close by in proximity to that case,
Yeah.
and they did ask about video footage and all that well before they arrested the husband and before anyone knew who that was. So I do wonder if maybe they have gone to the neighbors and
I'll just
talked.
tell you that 2 summers ago, somebody broke into my neighbor's car. The police were at our house the next morning asking us for our Ring doorbell footage.
Yeah.
So I am 100% sure, so and so, Mr. Joe Schmo down the
Yeah.
road, like his wallet is important. Nancy is way more important. I hope they've gone to everybody, the whole neighborhood, surrounding neighborhoods, like all of the footage that they could possibly find.
I
I hope
hope
that they
so.
pulled. I'm sure that they
And
have.
poor Savannah and her whole family. I cannot imagine the absolute just torture of knowing that your 84-year-old mother
Yeah.
was taken out of your home and the whole thing with the Bitcoin, the one Bitcoin request. One Bitcoin is about $66,000 for anyone who doesn't know. And
Oh,
the
I thought it was
reward,
higher than that.
no, one Bitcoin is on, I say only.
It was
One
up to over
one
100,000.
is at 66,000 about right now. And so the reward at that time was $50,000. So I find that very suspicious that you're placing a ransom request for one Bitcoin, but if you just turned over the proper evidence, it's 50,000. Something is very off. I don't know what. I mean, besides the fact that they took her,
Well,
clearly off, but something just doesn't feel right.
what I kind of wonder, and I hope that this isn't the case, but where my mind goes is that somebody took her potentially for some kind of a ransom reward and that she was 84. She was not in great health. She had a pacemaker.
Like,
She had
oh,
medication that she needed to live, right? And maybe she passed away in the process. And there isn't, obviously can't send proof of life now. So at
I
this
know.
point, I don't
I
know,
know.
but that's just kind of because I don't understand if there's no motive, you don't commit the crime. So they didn't take anything from her house. It's not like if
Right.
you are somebody who is going to inherit from her and that's why you would do it, you would leave a body so that there's evidence that she's dead. So
Right.
I don't even see like inheritance as a motive. I would think at this point it's somebody who is not related to the family, who's maybe an outsider who came because they know that Savannah is kind of a prominent person and that,
Yeah.
so I don't know.
I don't know. I
That's
at
just
first I was like, well, maybe someone, and I know we're getting like so deep in this, we can cut some of this if we need to, but I know that I was like at first like, well, maybe someone has been stalking her for a while, which sounds terrifying, but would fit with the video footage that they had been there previously.
yeah.
And maybe they have connections. So maybe they actually got her medication in advance under a different name. And so maybe they had the medication to sustain her so that she, would stay alive, because it seemed like at first what seemed odd to me was how confident the family was that she was still alive. And of course, I think that you always want to think that your loved one is still alive. But I also think realistically, you kind of wonder,
But I think if you take somebody, That's the other thing that doesn't make sense to me. It's like, if you're gonna commit a crime, if you're gonna murder somebody, you're not gonna normally, like, you wouldn't remove them from their house. It was like an
Agreed.
intentional kidnapping, which is probably why they believed that she was alive, and then they got the ransom, so they're thinking like, "Okay, yeah, she's
But
alive."
also, they didn't get the ransom. TMZ got the ransom.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the other thing. If I am going to kidnap your husband because I want you to pay for him, right? I don't want your husband, so I'm not going to kidnap him, just for the record, if he goes
I'd
missing.
pay for you, whatever I can
um,
afford.
but you know what I'm sending my ransom request to you
Yeah.
because you are the person who is going to
Or
pay.
the
Or
police.
I was going to say, or the police.
Yeah.
I'm not being like, let me find TMZ and send
Yeah.
something to them.
That's suspicious. It almost just makes it seem like it's more of, like, for the story. It's more for, like, the public and more for
Yes, and not really
attention.
for the ransom. And the other thing is, if I truthfully have ransom or someone for ransom, I'm going to give you proof that they're alive
Mhm.
because I know you're going to ask for that. It's the first thing that anyone who has ever been taken for ransom, they ask for proof of life. So
Right.
again, I could go for hours
I've
about
thought a
this
lot about
case.
this. I'm sure you have too. I know we've talked a little bit about it. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy. And I just hope that there's resolution, whatever the resolution is. But it's one of those things where it has drawn so much attention that it just can't be left open ended. So I really hope that they get some kind of some kind of closure. I hope that it's good news, but
Yes.
whether it's not good news, just some kind of
Just
closure.
something.
Yeah.
And there have been so many, like I said, we're trying to always incorporate the cases you guys suggest. But in this past week alone, every time I come across something, I screenshot it if I'm like, oh my gosh, I really want to explore this case. And I cannot tell you how many things I've screenshotted this week as to cases that I want to
Oh yeah.
cover. There's been so many recently. There are some wild things happening.
There really are.
And they're kind of like quiet if you're not living in the true crime sphere. So probably a lot of people don't know about them, but there have been some wild things this past couple weeks. So
And we want to hear too from you. So I know I've asked a couple people that I've been in communication with, but we have covered local cases. I think right now, I mean, our audience is mostly a local audience to New York. We definitely have had viewers because we can track that, right? So we have that data. We've had viewers in other countries, we've had viewers in several other states for all of our episodes, but the majority is most likely this upstate New York area. And we're just curious, what do you want to hear? Do you like to
yeah.
hear the local cases? Are they more interesting to you because they're closer to home? Or are you more interested in maybe a case that you haven't heard of before? Like this case, for example, happened in Tennessee. So even that feedback would be
Yeah. And are
here.
you liking hearing unsolved cases or do you prefer solved cases? I
I
know
prefer
myself,
solved
I prefer
cases.
solved because I like a little nice bow at the end and someone goes to jail and I feel better.
And just seeing the kind of person, especially if there's a heinous crime that's committed against somebody, and then I'm thinking in my mind, who could do this? What kind of person would do something so horrendous, right? And then at
Yes.
the end, you finally get to see, okay, it's this person, and maybe
Yes.
this is why they did it. And, they had this kind of a troubled upbringing or whatever, not that they're ever justified, but yeah, that's why I like it. I like some
Yeah.
closure. I like being able to see who it is and what happened to them, right? Did they have to serve time and
Yeah.
pay a consequence for what they did.
And then on the flip side, I also think it's important to bring light to stories that families haven't got closure in case someone is like, oh my gosh, I know about this case. Again, do I think that that's really going to happen? You never know.
I
Maybe
hope
it
so.
reaches someone. I would hope so. I mean, I still hope that for
Kristen O'Connell.
Kristen O'Connell is obviously the first one that comes to mind just because we lived that case for
My
months
nanny just asked me
before.
about her yesterday. What's happening? So we are in communication with Linda Holloway. I email her every, I don't know, 4 or so weeks and hey, just checking in, what's going on? So I do know what's going on at this point, but I don't think that it's something that we can publicly share. So I'm not gonna, but if anybody wants to reach out to her, her email address is on our website under the summary of Kristen's episode.
Yeah.
So
So, all right, there's our little rant at the end.
sorry. That took a little bit of a turn. I
That's
wasn't
just who we
expecting.
are as humans.
I
I don't know
know.
what to tell you.
We can cut it out if we need to, but all right.
All
Well,
right.
until next time, we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and keep seeking the truth. This episode was written, edited, and produced by us, and the music was created by Manny Aguero.